Okay, now to make it back down.
After a few days in Hanoi, it felt like the right time to leave the city behind. The plan now was to head north towards the mountains, and a road I'd heard quite a lot about. The Hà Giang Loop is a roughly 350 kilometre route through the far north of Vietnam, close to the Chinese border. Much of it was built between 1959 and 1965, carved into these mountains to connect to isolated communities that had long been cut off from the rest of the country. It became known as the Happiness Road, though I suspected much of that depended on weather conditions, road surface, and how confident you were on a motorbike. These days, it's one of the most well-known routes in Vietnam, famous for towering limestone peaks, deep valleys, and roads with very little interest in your personal safety. Fatal accidents do happen here every year, usually involving inexperienced riders or difficult conditions or people pushing things slightly further than they should. While estimates vary, some reports suggest that there are 1 to 3 deaths annually. At the same time, tourism here has exploded. What was once a remote mountain route has slowly become one of the biggest backpacker attractions in Southeast Asia, bringing money and opportunity to a region where many locals now rely heavily on tourism for their income. But alongside that, there are growing complaints about overcrowding, massive tour groups, drinking culture, and whether the whole thing is becoming more party hostel than mountain expedition. So, naturally, I wanted to find out how much of that was actually true. I'd never done anything like it before, so, naturally, I booked a night bus north and found myself a happy rider.
So this is my new best friend, Say. Say.
How happy he would remain, we'll find out.
No, I'm sorry.
The old peace pipe.
Getting chonged.
Deep crack.
Before this goes any further, I should probably explain what's happening here. So, on our first night in Hà Giang, before we'd even started the loop, me and my new Cornish friend Josh decided to try a small piece of northern Vietnamese culture. Now, I know what this looks like, and to be fair, that's more or less exactly what it is. This is Tuc Lao, sometimes referred to as Aztec tobacco, a highly potent form of tobacco traditionally smoked through a bamboo pipe. It's been part of rural life in Vietnam for generations, particularly in the north, and is closely tied to hospitality and socializing. Usually it's paired with hot tea to aid digestion, but in our case, a beer seemed to do the job. Through a combination of broken English and translation apps, me and Josh spent the evening with the young man you see here and his mother, who owned the homestay we were at. We learnt about their lives, about his engineering studies at Hanoi University, and shared food and drinks together. And honestly, I'm not sure any of that would have happened had we not taken part. Before we left, he told us that for a lot of young men in Vietnam, trying Tuc Lao is almost a rite of passage. He'd apparently been smoking it since he was 16. And, well, when in Vietnam...
Oh damn.
The head rush is pretty intense.
Okay. Drink water is is keeping them down. Definitely not water.
It's good though.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
When in Vietnam. Vietnam mạnh.
Don't know whether it's the 2 beers I've just had, the sun shining, the scenery, maybe a mixture of everything. But this ride down to the first homestay from the mountaintop, it's been incredible. Coming into the town.
Volume. Ladies and gentlemen. So now everybody help me make louder, please. Ready, guys? Aye, một hai ba dô, một hai ba dô, hai ba dô dô dô, hai ba dô dô dô, hai ba whoop, hai ba whoop, hai ba hết, hai ba hết. Cheers!
Good morning. So, it's currently day, I want to say like, day 6? Day 6, I believe. Day 6, and I am waking up in Yanmin, which is a northern town in the valleys of a mountainous region along the Chinese border. I'm on day 2 of the Hà Giang Loop, which, I mean, is a very popular thing. I'm no pioneer here. It's quite a touristy thing to do, but it is meant to be one of the best bike trips in Southeast Asia. And I mean, day 1 yesterday was pretty goddamn incredible. So yeah, last night was spent getting very drunk off of rice wine, or happy water, as they like to call it. It's now 10 to 7. I'm gonna get up and I've got a few things I need to do before we leave and head north. And yeah, I'll see you soon. So I'm currently in Yanmin, which is a small town, and it's home to Xinjiang, home to a couple of communities, 3 tribal communities. Sits about 1,000 meters, so it's fairly high up, and it's cooler than southern Vietnam. And yeah, let's go see what we can find at 7:30 in the morning. So the town is surrounded by these limestone mountains and pine forests, and that's basically what we were riding through yesterday, and as we came down into the town. So yesterday, this is what I came down to see is this little local market. I walked by it, but I didn't walk down it, so I'm gonna walk down it now. Xin chào.
Không bẻ cái đầu này đi cho nó đâu.
Xin chào.
Hai cô nào mà là lớn em mà liêu. Đâu?
Năng được cái đấy đừng cháu mà đi học xảy cái kia đó nó cá mà nó cá bao ra
Xin chào. So this is where the locals would come and do come and do their shopping. And there's some pretty gnarly stuff even down there, like little puppies in cages and stuff. I don't even want to hazard a guess at what they'll be used for, but yeah.
Đằng lưới đi mà.
ai hỏi đi.
Con này nhiều thế, con này một cái thôi, con này nhiều này, một cái thôi.
Đây nhau rồi.
Không được. Không có đấy. Cần cái này đấy.
Mà leo đi nè, cái nôi này thì mà leo nè.
Leo này, hiệp.
So in Hanoi, you got something very common, which is an egg coffee. All around Vietnam, really, but its home is in Hanoi. I never got one, but I'm still in northern Vietnam, and here it is. It's good. It's basically iced coffee with a salty egg yolk topping. And then for breakfast, a lovely assortment of wonders to fuel my day. Yeah, let's go! Titoy, Titoy!
Okay, guys, if you want to order something, it's better than that way. It's better than that first. Yeah, it's better.
Quite a view, huh? Gotta say, this definitely feels the most sketchy bit of the loop so far. Gotta be the world's biggest half pipe up there. So right now we're going about a few kilometres up this mountain and we're right on the Chinese border. So we're going to be able to look over and hopefully, if the weather's good enough, see China.
Yes. China, that's way. Amazing. Be careful. Amazing! Yeah! Okay, bye.
Thank you, brother. Have you been up here before?
Because I'm lazy walking, we go up on the mountain. Stay on motorbike.
You stay at the bottom?
Yeah. I'm lazy.
Not today, not today.
Yeah. Oh, you take a video?
Take a video.
Oh, hello. And you know China have a border, China that way.
That way.
And the black you see?
Yeah.
China border.
Have you been to China?
No. Yes.
Not yet. You could run there now.
No.
So right now, me and this dude have literally climbed the mountain. Whether or not we'll be able to get back down is another question.
Yeah, I mean, easy parts of what's going on.
Okay, now to make it back down.
Oh, da ist doch noch ein entspannter Weg. Aber der ist hoch entspannt. Den können wir runtergehen. Ja.
Officially made it down. So we're 3/4 of the way through the second day of the Hà Giang Loop. It's been pretty epic so far, I gotta say. I mean, the views are just breathtaking. Obviously there's the drawback of being in a fairly big group, which, you know, made some couple of good friends that I'll probably stay in contact with after this trip, to be fair. But you know, there's a lot of people around everywhere you go, apart from right now, which is pretty nice. But yeah, one more day left tomorrow, and it's the biggest day in terms of how much distance we're going to cover. I think it's about 200k on the bike, and then, all being well, I'm going to catch a overnight sleeper bus from Hà Giang to Ninh Bình. I think it's about 9-10 hours, and then maybe meet up with another friend in Ninh Bình. Although she might have moved on to Da Nang, in which case I'll have a night or two in Ninh Bình and then go to Da Nang and yeah, maybe meet her there, and definitely meet Martin, my childhood friend who's living out here with his girlfriend Julia. So yeah, I've got a solid plan so far, but I think Da Nang onwards is where I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do. But that's about halfway down Vietnam, and then obviously I've got half of the country to cover to get down to Ho Chi Minh City by the 5th or the 4th of March, which is in, I don't know, about 10 days, something like that. Oh, so just arrived in the second and last homestay, and I didn't really film much in the last one, but gone from, the last one was yesterday in Yen Minh, was beautiful, so good, and this one, it's like a construction site. It's not quite, it's like a temporary build thing. I came out of the shower and I thought someone was actually in my room, because it's just, yeah, you can just hear everything. And when someone opens the door, the whole thing shakes. So yeah, that's gonna be a fun night. And also I've just been told 24 hours after booking it that my bus from Hà Giang tomorrow to Ninh Bình, which is going to be a 10-hour overnight bus, a technical difficulty means it's not happening anymore, and I just booked 2 nights accommodation in Ninh Bình. So yeah, I knew things like this would happen on the trip. There's always going to be things that don't go to plan, and I've hit that obstacle now, just less than halfway through my trip, which is not bad going. I wanted to get from Hà Giang to Ninh Bình. I should have been able to do that in 3 separate ways. All of those 3 ways are no longer available to me. So now, tomorrow night after the 3rd day of the loop, instead of going straight to Ninh Bình, where I've got accommodation booked in and everything, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet. I'm gonna go back to Hanoi, which I really didn't want to do. Back to the land of smog and chaos. I haven't got anywhere booked there. I'm gonna arrive in Hanoi at about 1 AM, something like that, and then pray to God that I will be able to get a taxi, a 2.5-hour taxi from Hanoi to Ninh Bình. The good news is I'm pretty drunk off of South Korean soju right now, instead of Vietnamese rice wine, which is what it was yesterday. Either that, or I'm stuck in Hà Giang for the rest of my life, and I become, I integrate with the Vietnamese culture, slowly but surely become. I met Liao, a 19-year-old whose mother owns the homestay in Hà Giang, which is where I did the Tuk Lao, the big pipe. So I might just be staying there for the rest of my life at this rate, who knows. I feel like I've been chasing sleep for since I got here pretty much. I think I've had 1 good night's sleep since I got here. But it's good fun. It's good fun. So yeah, let's reconvene tomorrow after the 3rd day of the loop, and hopefully I will this time tomorrow be on my way kind of to Ninh Bình. Also, there's no better place to do an Irish goodbye than a hostel. I've been playing cards all night with a great group of people, and that shot, you hit this shot of soju and you're like, yeah, I'm pretty drunk, and I need to go now. And then you can kind of just, no one really knows you. You don't really know them. You just kind of get up and leave. No expectation at something like this. No better place for an Irish goodbye. So on that note, goodbye. Okay, so this is something that I doubt I'll put into the final edit, but maybe I will. But I've been thinking it the whole trip, right? One of the reasons why I personally wanted to go on a trip like this, and one of the reasons why living in a camper van or even just going camping for however long really appeals to me. And I believe this is the reason why a lot of people do it, and it appeals to them as well, whether or not they people can realize this is the reason why. But I love having such simple things to think about, because it makes everything else just almost irrelevant, The normal shit that you worry about every single day just isn't there anymore. Have I got enough soap? Because I turned up here, for example, and the only soap available to me is this, which is already used bleaching soap. So in Vietnam, it's a beauty thing to be white, right? So their soap has bleaching things in it. So it actually bleaches your skin to make you more white. Now look at me. I do not need that, and I also don't trust whatever they put in it to bleach it. So yeah, I'm still using the soap that I got from my stopover in Heathrow. Anyway, next time I take my hand off this camera, I shall be, I imagine, on the back of a bike, or maybe in some weird's not a bad word to use, weird to me, Vietnamese town. So this is my new best friend, Say. Say. He tells me this is his hometown, that we're just leaving. He has a wife at 23. I think he said he had 2 kids. And his house, he just told me, was 4 trees ago. Yeah, 4 trees ago. And I'm risking this beautiful young man. I trust him with my life now. My new best friend, Antoi. So we're doing about 200 kilometers today. Just me and Sig. Gotta say, the scenery and the topography is just wild here. Never gets old. And also, I've got to say, he was looking particularly fresh this morning in his cow print jumper. He smelled extra delicious. So if his house was 4 trees away and that was his hometown, I'm guessing he went home last night, freshened up for his big day. This is only his 3rd time on the loop, so I've nearly done it as many times as him. Xin chào. So if you thought your walk to school was difficult, Looks like we could be heading into the clouds. Which we did on our first day. Got incredibly wet.
Đâu anh có xuống đâu à?
And here we have what I've decided to call the infamous petrol pork. Now, to be fair to them, this may genuinely have been some of the best pork I've ever tasted. Unfortunately, it also went on to cause a fairly significant amount of mischief over the next 3 or 4 days, as will soon become apparent. In fairness, there were probably a few possible suspects along the way, and it may well have just been a combination of things that finally caught up with me. But this particular roadside pork, which carried a surprisingly noticeable aftertaste of the petrol it was being cooked over, had me feeling rough within about half an hour, which in hindsight may have been an early warning sign. So when on the border of China, it only makes sense to have some of the finest barbecued pork belly. It's so good. There's like a chili spice mix on it. It might just be some of the best barbecue pork I've ever had, if not the best. And it costs about £1.40. Well, I think we're hitting the road again. That road, to be precise. If you've made it this far, then fair play. Now I've had a bit of time to reflect on the Hà Giang Loop. I wanted to give a more kind of honest conclusion to the experience, or my experience that I had. Was it genuinely one of the most breathtaking things I've ever done? Yes. Were there also moments where it felt like this once remote and kind of mythical journey had become heavily commercialised? Also, yes, I think both of those things can be true at the same time. I had an amazing experience, I really did. I saw and did things that I may never have the chance to do again. But I also think that if you want something deeper from it, something beyond just the drinking games and the roadside kind of viewpoints, you do have to go looking for it yourself. For me, some of the most memorable moments weren't necessarily the big scenic stops, but the smaller things. Walking through the local markets early in the morning, seeing glimpses of rural life in the north of Vietnam, kind of hearing the sounds and smelling the food and just seeing the people live their lives there. And essentially just finding the places that were off the beaten track a little bit. Had I stayed in bed that morning instead of getting up at 6:30, very hungover, I might add, yeah, I wouldn't have seen that, and I wouldn't have got that kind of glimpse into the local life, which, like I said, was one of the most memorable experiences of the loop for me, really. And equally, it was the small interactions with people like Lau and his family that really made part of this journey special to me. So if you're thinking of doing the loop yourself, or you're going to Vietnam soon, in an ideal world, I'd definitely recommend learning to ride properly and doing it independently. You can get a bike over in Vietnam really cheap, really easily, and you don't need any experience really. But for something like the Hà Giang Loop, there are, occasional police checks, and they give you a slap on the wrist if you haven't got your bike license, and they let you go. But I wouldn't want to do it with no experience. So yeah, but if you can do it independently, I would. Realistically, most people, myself included, are going to end up doing it with an easy rider, and yeah, this is great too. I would just say find the smallest group you possibly can. It may cost slightly more, but it would definitely be worth it. I mean, I would say even just you and a rider, which is definitely doable. You find people out there, they will do that for you. It's also worth mentioning that there has been a recent tragedy since I've done the loop, and this has brought kind of renewed attention to the kind of hazards along the way. The riders I saw were all really responsible, and the two that I interacted with the most, that you see throughout the video, they were really responsible. And my rider didn't drink at all. I didn't see him drink at all, and he even went home on one of the nights, which I was really appreciative of, because there were definitely others still going for it long after I'd gone to bed. I did also actually witness a crash. I don't think it was a tourist, and it was at like low speed. So thankfully, I think she was fine. But even so, there were kind of moments on the roads with the close proximity to the oncoming traffic, the tight bends, obviously the cliff edges, that did make my stomach turn more than once. Even so, it's an incredible experience, but like all incredible experiences, it doesn't come without any risk. But yeah, still in the end, I do think it's entirely possible to have a meaningful and culturally enriching experience on the loop in modern day. Meeting new people, trying new things, and seeing part of the world that you haven't seen before and may never see again. Hopefully it'll stay this way for years to come, and people can continue to enjoy it, and it'll stay true to its roots. So yeah, thanks for watching this one, and hopefully you'll join me as we continue our adventure.